I was an intern rotating on medicine wards at the VA. And when I arrived in the morning for sign out, I accidentally dropped my scut sheet on the ground and I bent over to pick it up. And there was an audible ripping sound that my colleagues very politely ignored. But I realized that I had torn my pants and it was not a small tear. It was like a catastrophic failure of structural integrity of the seat of my pants. They were just completely off. And but I had to get to work. And so I threw on my white coat and got to pre-rounding. And the VA at the time, they still had a smoke shack. And so if you couldn't find your patient in their room in the morning, then they were probably outside smoking. And so I went to see one of my patients in the smoke shack, and I am ripping sweat wearing my white coat. And my patient says, "Doc, you all right? Why don't you take off your coat?" And totally miserably, I tell him, I can't take off my coat. And takes a long drag on his cigarette and he looks at me and he says, the uniform isn't what makes you a soldier. And I realize that he thinks that I cannot take off my coat because then I won't be a doctor or people won't recognize me as a doctor. And so I confess to him, I say, it's not that. I've had a wardrobe malfunction. And he just looks at me and he says, so let me tell you that nothing will make you feel more like an imposter when you are on rounds and you can feel like a gentle breeze on your bare buttocks. White coat. I just felt totally incompetent, but exactly no one noticed. My patient was right. So what? And he was right about something else. And eventually, after intern year, I stopped wearing my white coat entirely.
Huh.
Um, and he was right that I was wearing it because I needed it to lend me this gravitas that I felt like I hadn't earned yet.
Mm.
And I also felt like it was an armor against people's judgments that maybe I looked too young to be a doctor or too female to be a doctor, and I needed to wear my white coat. But as I came into myself as a clinician and got some sturdier pants, I found that I just did not need my uniform as much anymore.